what games did you play as a child?
What's that thing with the squares? Hopscotch, no?
Yeah.
With the numbers and the squares. But Tig was our favourite. Do you know what you call it, Tig? No.
Catch, we called it.
Catch. Tig, we called it. What's the game? Oh, Copy House. Oh Lord, we love Copy House. Do you know? Well, a little shed. Lord Hunt is a little shed. Sometimes we'd have a shop in it. Empty tins and empty cartons and all that kind of thing. And anything you could find, like, nothing fancy, right? And then other times to be a house. You know, there'd be a few of us there and we'd be pretending we were husband and wife and have children. And Copy House we used to call it.
Oh yeah.
We'd make up our own little house, like, and put curtains up with rags or whatever.
Did you use yourself in a special way at certain times of the year? Like blackberry picking in autumn?
Oh we did. And there were, my father used to cut turf above in the bog, it is far up Kilcommon somewhere. And there was berries growing on the ditch, horse they used to call them, I don't know how you spell it. They were little small black berries. They were gorgeous. We used to love picking them.
What townland are you from?
Hi, Pat.
And do you know the townland, how the townland got its name?
Well, I always presumed it was from High Park House, Ramens. High Park House.
And do you know how many families live in that townland?
At that time,
Yeah.
oh, there was only costlers ourselves, Altais, Forks. 4.
I know.
That's all.
And were the houses thatched or slated?
Slated. Oh no. Yeah, slated.
Were there any old people over 70 living there?
Oh God, they were. Mrs. Burke was well over 70. And where, oh, there was another house. Do you know where Mickey McAndrews is living?
No.
Michael McAndrews, down that road. You know Michael McAndrews?
Oh,
Noni Ellen was her name. She was actually Mrs. Bryan, but her own name was Noni Ellen. She was well into her 80s when she died. She was living down there.
did people emigrate from there to America or elsewhere in former years?
Oh, they did England. Not America, England mostly.
And were there any rivers or lakes or streams or stories connected to them?
There was a well down in Phillips, down in Tails, across the road from us. That's where we used to get the water. It was a fresh well. We used to go down there for the water, bring it up in buckets.
Oh yes. Where was the local fair held?
In the village,
Were they always held in the village?
yeah.
Which were the great fairs of the year locally?
And like I said, the only two I can remember was the 27th of July, the Gooseberry Fair, is that what you said, Mary? And the 24th of December.
And Bridie, did you say you see clothes sold at the fairs as well?
Oh yeah, there was Hannafins and Fitzgeralds. Hannafins were from Thurles and Fitzgeralds were from Cashel. They used to sell all the clothes and different things like that. They used to sell household utensils and things like that.
How many meals a day did people have in the olden times?
3.
And what were they?
Breakfast, dinner and supper.
Do you know what did each meal consist?
Breakfast was bread and butter and jam. The dinner was mostly bacon or a stew. And the supper, whatever was going, you could have an egg or you could have nothing fancy, just an egg or something like that. There was no bananas or anything.
Did you drink milk?
Yes,
What kind of milk?
cow's milk.
What did you
We
do?
bought it at, it was a pub and a shop, Connie Carey's, down on the square. And he had a farm and cows as well, and you go in with your gallon and get to buy the milk there. You used to buy it by the gallon.
What kind of bread was eaten? Do you know?
Homemade, all
Was-
homemade.
Was it boiled?
Corn bread or anything, plain white bread or brown bread, corn bread. My mother made our own bread. No bought bread. We used to swap. Well, the order of the lads used to swap with Buckley's going up to school with their lunch. Buckley's were made for the homemade bread, and they had the bread made in the bakery.
Oh, yeah.
And our lads used to swap with them.
And Bridie, what would you have had for your lunch?
Just bread and butter.
And would you bring a bottle of milk or anything?
Or milk. Well, no, we used to get cocoa.
Oh, right.
You get cocoa in school. If you wanted, you bring milk, but you get cocoa as well if you wanted it.
The teacher made the cocoa,
Yeah.
was it?
You bring the milk though to make the cocoa.
Mm.
And you'd have to pay so much a year for it
Yeah.
if you wanted it. It was like with the fires. You'd have to pay so much a year. It was open fires in the classrooms. And you had to pay so much a year for the fire, the turf and whatever was delivered.
And you remember going to school?
Oh God,
Did you write on a slate
Yeah.
with chalk
Yeah.
and the pen and nib, was it?
Yeah.
I had a pen and nib as well.
Yeah.
Inkwells.
And a little ink. Yeah.
Did you eat meat often?
Every day nearly. But my mother used to kill their own pigs, and she always had chickens, hens, kill their own chickens. They never really bought much. My father never bought a vegetable. He grew every vegetable you could name, he grew it. It was the whole year round. We never had to buy vegetables.
Did certain customs attach to some feast days?
Oh, the egg eating, that did, yeah. We used to go to houses and collect eggs. And that was our eggs for Easter. And it depended on how many we were able to eat. We'd get 3, maybe 4, if we were lucky. However many were there.
What vessels were used before cups became common?
The only thing I remember is when we were young, it was enamel mugs we had, in case we break. But then we went on to the ordinary mugs, but we had enamel mugs first.
Are there any ancient crosses or standing stones in the parish?
So the only one is the monument belonging to a graveyard. I can't think of any other one. There used to be, the only thing, there was a well down, they used to call it the double ditch. Do you know where Mary Kelly's is?
Yeah.
You go down there, you used to be able to go down there and go way down. Actually, I got water there myself, even when I came to live in Father Calvin Park. When the water would be cut off, we'd go down there. They used to call it Ladies' Well.
Is it back behind Mary Kelly's?
Right?
Back behind Mary Kelly's?
Back behind Mary Kelly's, down the ditch. Ladies' Well they used to call it. I'd say it's still there. But I used to get water there when they cut it off up to about, well, I suppose 20 years ago, maybe 30 years ago. Ladies' Well they used to call it. A lot of people used to go down there for water. So I'd say it's still there.
Just there, Bridie, when you were talking about the water. Do you remember Walshe Day long ago?
I do.
Drawing the water.
Drawing the water, and a big black pot lamb used to hang over the fire. And for the whites, she used to boil them. And we'd have to take turns, you know, who'd be passing them up and down, as she used to call it, with a big wooden spoon, passing the whites up and down in the big black pot to boil them. And the sheets, my mother made all her own sheets, flour bags. You get the flour in bags that time. You buy it in big bags. And she used to keep washing them until they'd be practically snow white. And she used to make them herself, sew them together and make them herself. That was our sheets like. But they'd be lovely, beautiful white sheets.
Do you know of any historical traditions?
Uncle Crew wouldn't come into that, no. It's not the Protestant church over there in the James Whites.
Right.
I remember something about that. The Protestant church there in the James White. Do you know what? Just as before James White says at the other side of the road. Do you know if you go over the
Crossing 4 roads, straight on.
Yeah. And the Protestant church is on the left, just as you come to the end of the road. And one of the tailors died, and as I said, Andrew Taylor, the Lord Nelson, and the man that owned Philipstown. He was brilliant to poor people, we'll say, but wood and everything. And one of them died, and my mother went to the funeral because she was medical. She was such a good man, like she said. There was no way she wasn't going to miss it, so she went over to Crew to the funeral. And Father Callanan, which our place is called, he was a lovely man, but he helped it. And he came down and he told her he'd nearly excommunicated her from the church over it.
Oh, that's all right.
She shouldn't have gone to a Protestant funeral. That's fact, man.
That's brilliant, yeah.
Yeah, she shouldn't have gone.
She was paying respects because he was a good person, she liked
The
him.
answer she gave to him was, she said, well, I'll tell your father, she said, it was a funeral I wasn't going to miss, she said, because he was a lot better to me, she said, than most of the Catholics around. That's exactly what she said to him. And she said, I wasn't going to miss it.